What is up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 53 of Thinktwice, the magic and pop culture show, hosted by me, Justin Parnell, and my co-host, Ali Aintrazi, who's here in the flesh.
In the house!
Quite literally.
In the house.
And figuratively.
In the house.
Yeah, you're figuratively in the house and literally in the house.
That's like being transparent and not transparent at the same time.
No, that's the opposite. What does that even mean? Transparent and not transparent?
I don't know. Man.
Oh, are you trying to make an allusion to our Ant-Man and the Wasp segment?
Yes.
No, you weren't.
No, it wasn't. No,
but it is topical. Later in the show. Did you watch the movie?
Yeah. I did watch the movie.
This is going to be a rough podcast. All right, so this is the part where we talk about what we did last week.
Who goes first?
Well, I mean, I'll go first, but you just...
I guess scissors, so I'll go first. Okay.
Well, first of all, I would have thrown rock, so...
Well, you would lose.
Okay. Well, I don't think you know how to play rock, paper, scissors.
I don't think you know how to play anything. So last weekend, I played a team event with John Taylor and Elizabeth Rice. I played standard. It was like a 1K. So I played new standard, and we won the whole thing. This is me bowing graciously. Imagine me bowing graciously.
But you're not.
But I'm not.
But you're not doing it.
Let them imagine.
Everyone imagine.
Let them imagine. So, yeah, we did really well. You
won. So you obviously did really well. That goes without saying. Yeah, we did okay.
So John Taylor played I was like, hey, I need a modern player. It's like, well, I haven't played in like a year. It's like, what do you got? He's like, I got Tron. I was like, okay, well, I'll think mono green is good. He's like, well, I have green white built. I was like,
okay, cool. We'll just take those white cards out and we'll be good to go.
I was like, well, you know what? Honestly, I don't care because I'm playing for fun. I'm not sure if this card is how good this card is, so play whatever you want. It's like, okay. He's like, I want to play green white Tron. It's what I've built. I was like, okay. So he has like 3 plus lines in the sideboard. That's like Infect and like Death Shadow back in the day, you know?
Yeah, those like cards that don't even aren't playing.
Yeah, 3's are too many. But anyways, he does really well.
Yeah, 3's too many. 1's too many. The white mana is too many. Too many white mana symbols.
It didn't matter. He ended up not dropping a match and just carrying us all. So I played Elizabeth played Black Red Reanimator, the turn 1 Grizzled Dad deck. Yeah. Or Norn deck.
Whatever
you got.
Yeah, whatever you got.
Whatever fat you got, just put it on the table.
Smoke them if you got them. Dot deck.
Yeah. And I played Esper Nexus of Fate.
You got to come up with a better name than that, especially if we're going to win the tournament this weekend.
Oh man. What's the coolest Esper Charm? Nexus of Fate.
No, that was worse. that was a worse name somehow.
Chromium of the Nexus.
No.
Teferi of the Nexus.
Nope. We'll keep working on it.
Nexus.
Nexus is better than all of this.
Black, blue, white Nexus.
No.
All the turns.
The black hole.
The black hole. That sounds a little prerogative.
What? That's a scientific term.
Doesn't matter. I found it provocative. The black hole. I'm giving my opponent the black hole.
You're not giving your opponent the black hole.
Then why is the deck called the black hole?
Why do you have to? Why every deck name you have to give your opponent that? I'm giving my opponent the chain whirler.
Yeah, you want
the chain whirler.
Drop the chains. So yeah, so guys, my deck's called the black hole.
See, I think that's good.
I gave my opponent the black hole, and I'll also give him the black hole. It's coming weekend, I guess, or tomorrow.
So we're going to SCG Philadelphia, and it's going to be a really interesting podcast next week because we're going to win the tournament.
Yes, with the black hole and other decks.
With the black hole,
friends.
Ollie's playing the black hole. I'll be playing Mardu Pyromancer in Modern because our friend Harlan is going to be playing Legacy, and he's going to be playing a deck that I hate, but he really likes. which is Team Delver. If you want to know how I feel about Legacy decks, specifically that one, podcast 2 episodes ago can fill you in.
Yeah, Justin's playing Tarmogoyf in Modern.
Tarmogoyf plus Ancestral Recall. They stapled it
Treasure Cruise?
in there. Well, Treasure Cruise is just Ancestral Recall.
Sure. Okay, so Tarmogoyf and Concentrate.
Ancestral Recall.
Jason's Ingenuity.
Ancestral Recall.
I'm
How
running-
many more do
I'm
you
running
have?
out. Yeah, draw 3.
Yeah, well, that'll be for next week because we're not going to talk too much team tournament this week. But I guess before we move on to the question of the week, I played board games this weekend. I played the game Seasons, which is a fun game. It's like a little bit of a drafting game, a little bit of like a resources game, and a little bit of a I don't know. It's really hard to describe. It's got like a little bit of everything. It's like you draft cards that you play through like, and then you like set them aside into 3 piles. And like for like the first act of the game, you get access to like a third of the cards, and the second act you get access to another third, and then the third act you get access to another third. And the cards do different things, and they get you different. There's like 3 different resources, and you just obviously try to turn those into the most points. But you can make a lot of different decks just based on those drafting. It's pretty cool. Then I played a game called Lanterns, which is I don't know. It's hard to describe. It's like a matching game where you're like matching and then turning things in for points. It was a fun game.
Yes, so you match. So your opponent's deck has like a cryptic command, then you match it with your Gulkar as well.
3 islands and no, the Gulkar as well and the cryptic command do not match. Those are different ones.
Well, yeah. So you mill it. You keep milling them with Codex Shredder and Gulkar's Will until the cards match those cards.
Yes, that's it.
Exactly.
Yeah, Lantern's the game.
Yeah.
But other than that, we had a question of the week last week. And actually, even despite the poll not being close, I felt like this landed it landed it right in your prediction. Because at the end, I asked you, the question was over under 19.5 copies of Bolas the Ravager in all of the top 8s of the tournaments at SEG Worcester. And there were 12 among 4 decks. 4 different decks played 3 copies.
Yeah.
And afterwards, because you took the under, and 67% of people agreed with you. 25% of people agreed with me, said it was going to be over 19.5, ended up not being the case. But afterwards, I was like, okay, well, how many copies do you actually think? And you said 12 to 16, so 3 or 4 decks.
Yeah.
It was right in there. It was
Right.
4 decks playing 12 copies total.
Yeah, and like if you'd given the question this weekend,
Might be higher.
Because there's more accessibility to Nicol Balls. Also, to call me the fortune teller, crystal ball teller, the seer, the omen speaker, whatever you want to call me, because I'm basically psychic.
Well, which one do you want to be? Crystal Ball's an artifact. Omen Speaker's a terrible 1/3.
What else can I be?
I don't know. Those are the 2 you said. You said the Crystal Ball, the Omen Speaker.
What about Face Spinner?
The Fate Spinner? Okay, you could be the Fate Spinner. Bug Magic Online.
I'm Face Spinner. Exactly. Yes. Yeah, just play and win. I'll be Face Spinner.
Okay.
You never know. You never know what to do. Skip your
That's true.
Thomas step.
Yeah,
Skip
who
your
knows?
face. Never
It's a mystery.
Never play Magic Online again. You don't know.
Okay, so we have, obviously, we have a good show for today. But before we get to that, we want to thank our new Disciple of Bolas Patreon supporters. We actually have a lot this week. Very excited for you guys that have joined us on Thinktwice. Dustin S., Nicholas L., David B., Peter M., and Dor R. You guys are our newest Disciple of Bolas supporters, so
Welcome.
we appreciate you guys so much. We hope you enjoy all of the stuff that you're getting, and thank you for supporting the show. If you're interested in supporting the show, you can go to patreon.com/thinktwicemtg. We have a lot of great rewards tiers, including a $1 tier, which gets you early access to the show as well as Discord access, a $3 tier that gets you a boatload of commander decks that I post on a regular basis, and the $5 tier gets you access to 60 card decks, a lot posted by Ali, but I've been posting some modern and legacy decks in there too since those formats have been changing. So there's even more rewards than that, but those are kind of our big ones, and especially for people looking for deck lists, those are the most fun ones to have. We also want to encourage everyone, if you are listening to this podcast on a platform that you don't normally listen to podcasts to, let us know what platform you would like us to be on. We're trying to expand our reach. Right now, we're on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, and Stitcher. We're trying to get on a couple of other platforms. So if you don't mind, let us know what you want to hear us on. And if you're listening on one of those platforms that we listed, be sure to leave us a review because that really helps us out quite a bit, and it doesn't take you guys too much time to do. A bunch of you have done so already, and that's awesome. We'd love if you guys continue to do that. That's the best way for us to grow the show.
I'm proud of you. You said SoundCloud.
I know, not just one, not
multiple.
I know. And
I'm proud.
I didn't even skip a beat. I just said SoundCloud.
I know. You're right.
Yeah,
I'm proud of you.
53 episodes in. I'm figuring it out.
Finally, there we go.
53 episodes in. Okay. All right. We are going to take a quick break for a minute, and when we return, our first segment is going to be Core 19, just like last week. But it's going to be more Core 19, including our top 15 list for the set. See you in a bit. All right, Ali. So, week 1 in the books. We already talked about Bolas, but what are your thoughts after seeing Core 19 perform, or maybe underperform, at the first standard tournaments of its legality?
I'm honestly a little scared of. I'm scared because it helped some of the better decks. Like Bolas obviously brought back Grixis, which brings back the Scarab God, and people are kind of tired of those cards. I am too.
Yeah. But you're not tired of Bolas, you're just tired of all the other cards.
Correct. I'm tired of the Scarab God and Champion of Wits and Whirler or Siphoner. Siphoner's fine, I guess. But
so you're tired of all the cards that are going to rotate out in 2 months.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, which should be gone.
Which you want to rotate out. Yeah.
And also then the red got Vishino Shock.
My favorite part about Core 19 is, and this is going to sound crazy, is when people looked at the spoiler, everyone was like, oh, thank God Red didn't get anything. Surprise! A little common hanging out here.
Yeah, literally, the card is really good. It's a shock. You pay 1 more for it, and you get 2 on body. That also happens to be, for who knows what reason, a wizard. Why is it a wizard?
Reason?
For Wizard's Lightning. That's the only reason. Obviously, it's for the wizard tribe from Dominaria to mix in, but gosh, man. It literally spawned a new archetype that it's just a red deck that plays no hazards. It's just like shock. Oh, by the way, this is my red deck I played against 3 times last weekend.
Flame of Keld, mono red.
Yeah, Flame of Keld, shock, Wizard's Lightning.
Dump your hand, do damage.
Yeah, then I board Banefire you. Okay, all right, that's fun.
Yeah.
Just hyper aggro, no hazard. It's crazy. But yeah, I don't like that those cards came in to help to play, but I do like some other cards. It kind of sucks that Bolas he's good, but he's being overpowered because of the card he's surrounded with. And then the Pyromancer guy, the Vishino Shock, is just a shock. It's
just a good card.
Yeah, and now we're seeing Bind Mercy play, which is because Hexproof and unblockable is a Scarab God. Kills you 4 turns. I don't know, I'm so excited for Dragon Sword after rotation. I think this set will get better, much better, once rotation happens. Because
it's a lot of slower cards that are more built around.
Yeah.
But that's not helped by cards that are or decks that are so efficient at doing their primary game plan.
No. And yeah, the only thing I hope is next set after rotation, obviously, is we also get some ramp spell to replace Our Promise. Ramp has been kind of sucky, but we do have Elvish Rejuvenator, which I think is obviously a good card, but without
that card's great.
Yeah, we're missing. We'll lose Our Promise. It's gonna be a sad day.
But you know what? Maybe we'll get something else. We're obviously going into Guilds of Ravnica, so you got to think multicolored, right?
Yeah.
Ultimately, we'll get some Simic stuff. They like
Urban Evolution.
Rampy type stuff. So so we were talking about this earlier. What do we think are seed cards for Guild of Ravnica? Cards we're going to see from M19 that are going to make a bigger impact at rotation, either because they're going to feed into whatever random themes there happen to be, or just cards that are their stock is going to go up once this stuff rotates.
Maybe we know for sure, like Stitcher Supplier is good for the zombie decks, but it's also good for the Golgari, which uses Graveyard,
sure,
and Demeanor.
Definitely.
Those are like I think the obvious ones.
You throw a Bone Dragon in with that.
Yeah.
Using a similar type thing. Obviously, using the Graveyard for Golgari, you're putting your own cards in. Demir, I guess you could also put your own cards in. You can do it yourself.
Or your opponents, yeah. But as far as other things, I don't think I really saw anything super stand out. Like, there's obviously Elvish Clan Caller. I'm not sure if that's just like, there's like an elf theme, or if it's just like, because there's Reclamation Sage, Elvish Clan Caller, Elvish Rejuvenator, Vanwar Elves. There's a lot of little elves here. I'm not sure if they're like going to be a theme or anything.
Because the elves aren't powerful enough on their own right now.
No.
So it's weird because it's like all the other tribes, a lot of the other tribes that got support. Well, I guess not all of them. I was gonna say a bunch of other tribes that got support. You can kind of play more of now. Like zombies is something you can do more of now. But it's interesting. The clans that are not rotating don't have enough support yet. So like elves and goblins.
Well, I think zombies is going to go up too. Like Golgari has lots of goblins.
Yeah, but you're losing
not goblins, zombies.
Zombies, yeah.
Zombies, yeah.
That's true. That's
and
true.
Liliana, Untouched by Death is...
That's a powerful card.
For zombies, so Death Baron. So maybe more zombies. And also, like, dragons. So, like, there's Dragon's Horde and Sarkhan Fireblood. So there's bound to be at least a visit there, you know?
Sure.
And sure. So I'm sure we'll see some more dragons, too.
That's there's a dragon appears in every single set of Magic.
So, yeah, we'll see more dragons, too. So.
Yeah. Okay.
But I don't think there's anything like glaringly obvious, like, oh, this is definitely for next set.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the two that I thought about too were the Stitcher Supplier and the Bone Drake.
Yeah.
Because that seems pretty obvious, because we know what we're kind of going to get from Demir and Golgari.
Yeah, it's always
in some form or
sort
fashion.
Of graveyard
shenanigans.
Scavenge, dredge, delve.
It's going to be doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I guess in the intermediate between now and then rotation, what cards are we going to see play in this standard that didn't see play last weekend?
That did not see play last weekend.
Yeah, what are we going to see more of, or alternatively, what are we going to see less of?
I think we will see. Obviously, I guess we'll exclude Bolas because he's going to be around for a while.
Yes. So probably till it rotates.
I think Sai is going to slowly start seeing play more and more. That card's just been Sai. Master Stoppers has been impressive. I've played him a little bit, not too much, but once you get the hang of the deck, it just does so much, and it's a deck that can fully abuse some of the most powerful planeswalkers in the game right now, standard anyway, with Karn and Tezzeret.
Yeah, which are arguably. I mean, there's a lot of powerful planeswalkers in standard.
Yeah,
it just
Teferi is the strongest one,
but Teferi is just a generically strong card. It's not like you got to play this specific type deck. It's just like, are you playing blue and white cards? I'm your man.
Yeah, but and Karn's a good card, but Sai I can usually like.
Yeah, once you start churning out doctors, and you make a construct that's like a 6/6.
Yeah,
that's different than a 1/1 or a 2/2.
Exactly. Yeah, and then you have Tezzeret that can draw you 2 cards or make a Thopter.
That's a lot. Yeah.
And Sai can like what's good about Sai is like it can filter out like extra Mox Ambers by sacrificing artifacts to draw cards. The card has another ability. It's also legendary, so it fuels Mox Amber.
Yeah,
and it's also it's hard to kill. And people bring in negates against that deck, but Sai, you can't negate.
Just don't care.
So I think
it's also when you cast an artifact, right? So even if they negate your artifacts, it's just like, got a Thopter, so
something, yeah. So it's just like Prophetic Prism draws you a card, makes a Thopter, and filters your mana. It's pretty good.
Okay.
Also think Ajani, Adversary Tyrants. We've seen like none of him right now for whatever reason.
There was, I think, the 9th place deck.
9th place? Okay. Well,
so like right outside was like a 4 of Ajani deck.
I think we'll see more Ajani as time goes on. He's just a really good planeswalker. He's like
it's interesting because it's like that card has like no chance to see play in a control strategy, but it's like it can go between aggressive decks and mid-range decks pretty seamlessly.
Yeah, or tempo decks too, like a blue tempo deck.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true. Okay, so let's get to our top 15. We're supposed to be top 10. That's what we were preparing to do. And then we got in a fight.
Fist
Could
fight
not agree.
or mental fight?
I don't know. You tell me.
So it's not ready
For either.
Celebrity deathmatch. Justin Parnell versus Ali Aintrazi.
So we have narrowed it down, and I'm doing air quotes, to 15 cards. Because that's all that we were capable of narrowing down to. So here's what we did, because we could not agree. Ollie and I each put our top 10 cards in a list. We agreed on 5 that we both thought were in the top 10 of this set. And this is for 60 card Magic to keep in mind. Not necessarily standard, but just for 60 cards, any 60 card formats. And then, since there were 5 cards on each of our lists that didn't cross over, we basically did like an aggregate and ranked each of those based on where they were in the list, and then kind of made a master list. So let's start at 15.
All right, 15.
And then go down from there. I'll say this one because this one was on my list.
Yeah.
So card number 15 is Graveyard Marshal. We already talked about zombies, that they have a potential to kind of make a resurgence even after Amonkhet, which is where the bulk of the zombies are right now in Standard. Even after they leave, I think this is the card that allows that deck to continue even more so than Liliana or Diagramical. Because even though those cards are important to the deck, this is like the powerhouse card.
This is like zombies Scrap Heap Scrounger.
This is their but in that deck it's better than Scrap Heap Scrounger.
Of course,
but it's significantly more narrow.
Right, but that's basically what it is too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. It's kind of weird though because he kind of fights with Liliana a little bit, but Liliana also fuels him, so it's like
because you don't want to exile cards because you want to replay them with Liliana. But if you're like overwhelmed with zombies, like you don't need to play the bad ones.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I can see that.
So I think this will be a card, and it's aggressive enough. It's an aggressive zombie that encourages you. This is in my opinion a card that encourages you to play zombies even more than Liliana, because that's a 4-drop. This is a 2-drop.
Of course, yeah. So you'll play more marshals than you will Liliana.
Exactly. Okay.
Right.
Number 14.
Number 14 is the Black Hole. Yes, before the Black Hole is the Nexus of Fate. I think this card's. I'm having like a hard time putting this card higher because I like it. I'm having a lot of success with it, but I'm literally not seeing the card anywhere else. Like people are talking about it.
Well, next week is when it's everywhere else. After we win the tournament.
I think the card's fantastic. It's the first time we've seen literally the first time in history we've seen an instant speed time walk type card, and yeah, I mean, I think
you said to me you think this is the best time walk effect since Time Warp.
Yes,
which is the second best time walk effect ever.
I 100% stand by that. I'm honestly, it might even be better than Time Warp.
That's a strong statement.
Yeah, this card is really, really good. The fact, like, it's hard to explain until you like play the deck. But like, when you're ready to take turns, you basically have like 8 copies of Time Walk in your deck. Yeah. Your deck's getting thinner. You keep drawing over and over again, and you literally take enough turns to ultimate Teferi and just win the game. This card is fantastic. It's also great against like control opponents when they're like, okay, in a turn I'm gonna flash in my Gearhulk or Chromium. You're like, all right.
Like end of your turn.
End of your turn. Like, okay, well before you go to your turn, tap, let me cast Nexus of Fate. All right, Teferi, Fumigate, go. Whatever. Like it's sweet card. Sweet card.
Okay, number 14. This one appeared on my list, and this is Exclusion Mage. This card looks really innocuous. It's just Mana War essentially. You can only target your opponent's creatures. You can't target yours. But there's 2 important distinctions for this card. One, it's a human. This is obviously an important tribe, especially for older formats. If you want more bounce effects, and of course you're like, well, you already have Reflector Mage, but there's definitely a metagame where the humans deck turns into such a tempo deck that you just want as many like bounce effects against other creatures as you can. Like this is insane against other human decks. Like if you pair this with Reflector Mage. But not only is it a human, it's also a wizard. So you're kind of hitting on both axes. So the human part, I think, could be impactful in Modern, and the wizard part is something, as you pointed out, like random creatures or wizards that shouldn't be. This is kind of another one that's just like randomly a wizard. If there is like a tempo wizard deck, this will be a part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see that. All right, so my number 12, this was on my list, is a card that people aren't really looking at.
They're sleeping on it.
Yeah. Mystic Archaeologist. Mystic Archaeologist is a 2-drop, it's a 2/1, and has the ability to pay 5 mana, blue 3, to draw 2 cards. This card is really good, especially just from your sideboard. Like, this is mostly a sideboard card, but when you bring it in the grinding matchup, it's just really good. If you guys remember way back in my day, Azure Mage, we played Azure Mage and Blue Black Control.
And you liked it.
Yeah, and Azure Mage was like, fine, it was good. It was 2/1, same cost, but you paid 4 mana and draw 1 card.
Yeah.
And it was like, fine. This, for 1 mana, you draw 2 cards. I played this card. This card's a beating, so like, no longer do you have to play 1 Bloodfast and 1 or 2 Bloodfast. Like Mystic Archaeologist will see play. It's just gonna take some time. But
this is just primarily a sideboard card, but that doesn't mean that
it's gonna win games though. Yeah.
Yeah.
You use the ability twice, especially with the fairy. Like, the game's just done. Even if it's not the fairy, you just play it and just.
Well, I mean, like, especially like if they're interacting with this card via removal,
they board out a lot too.
Well, let's say they keep some in, right?
Yeah.
And you play this on turn 7. You're just like, go.
Yeah.
If they kill it, you're just like, well, I'll draw 2.
Yeah, and you
so now you've like 3 for 1 them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like that's a lot of card advantage.
That is a lot of card advantage.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 11 on our list is Chromium the Mutable. Ali, you are obviously the resident control player of the podcast.
Sure. I think Chromium is one of the best finishers we've had in a long time. Like, this is guys. We played Pearl Ancient. This card is
when you say we mean you mean
I
you.
played Pearl Ancient. This card is so much better than Pearl Ancient. It flies too, and the way you protect it is much easier. This card, it kills so fast. It's 3-turn clock.
It does.
And
the fact that this is a 7/7 rather than a 6/7 is like leagues different.
Yeah, a whole turn. Chromium should be called. I guess Mutable is appropriate. I don't know. Tell your opponent to shut up. Tell your opponent's plays.
No, it's
the black hole. That's what it is.
No, it's not. Nexus is the black hole.
Well, yeah, but it's part of the black hole.
I don't think it's mutable. I don't think it means to mute. I think it's like because it mutates.
Oh, dang it.
Dude, it's literally on the card.
Ah, you're right. Okay, well, he makes opponent. He mutes opponents. He mutes planeswalkers too. He tells the planeswalkers to STFU, slaps him in the face, kills him. He just kills everything, and he's also the biggest plume veil in the world. He just comes down,
real big plume veil,
eats whatever you want, and he's uncounterable. He's also great because, guys, I've eaten Carnage Tyrants with this thing. People are like, Carnage Tyrant, ho ho ho. All right, yeah, it's pretty good. They attack. All right, Plume Veil, 7/7, block.
Big boy Plume Veil.
Yes. Untap. Clear Carnage Tyrant, attack for 7. The card's really good. I think people will adopt him at the very least for sideboards, but I think I'll pick up main deck as one of, just because it's super hard to answer. Obviously,
you have to sweep it. It's your only option.
Like, Yurok is a card that's a decent finisher and has a card advantage. Chromium is just 100% finisher. He finishes you off.
Yeah, he does the best job. He does the best job at finishing you off wherever you are in the progress of being finished. Right, he's gonna come and just finish you right off.
Right. So if you're gonna get a massage, make sure you go to Chromium.
Yeah. Number 10. This is a card that was on my list. I was surprised it actually wasn't on Ollie's list, even though I know he likes this card.
Yeah,
and this is Elvish Rejuvenator. This is a 1/2 for 3. When it enters the battlefield, look at the top 5.
I think it's 1/1. I'm pretty sure.
I think it's a 1/2. You look it up. I'll finish saying it. For 3, that when it enters the battlefield, you look at the top 5 cards of your library, and you can put a land among them onto the battlefield tapped. It doesn't have to be a basic land. It could just be any land. So this already ramps you, and it's a 1/1. Confirmed 1/1.
That's why I was sad because Chain Whirler. That's why I was so down on the card.
Oh, because it's not a 1/2?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's so good.
Yeah, it would be.
Death Threat 1/2, but this guy can't be 1/2.
No. Well,
No.
yeah.
What
are you going to do?
I mean, Death Threat ramps you and makes you lose life.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't do any of those.
Does all those.
No, he doesn't.
Not anymore.
How do you get him in play? Because the only format you get him in Vintage is there's four middle missteps in every deck that has blue mana.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I think this card has multi-format applications. We don't the modern Valakut type decks or even like Tron decks don't have this card in it yet. But I could also see a scenario where, like, let's say that Stony Silence becomes ubiquitous.
Here's what happens. Let's say Ancient Stirring gets banned. And Tron's like, all right, let's slap 4 Eldritch Redeemers into the deck.
Yeah, I mean that's honestly, yeah, and you have to go a little harder on green because you have to have it, but that ramps you. Well, Stirrings is more selection,
yeah,
but this just gets the land directly into play.
Yes, yeah.
That's a big deal.
Yeah,
that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Okay, number 9. This one was also on my list. I like this card more than Ali because it does a better job at killing people rather than keeping you from dying. And this is Demanding Dragon.
This card's gross.
This card is a beating.
It's Lava Axe.
It looks like an intro deck card. Like when you look at it, you're like, oh, it's a 5/5 dragon for 5. Okay, well, what this card actually is Glorybringer. Because even though it doesn't have haste, it's either hitting you for 5. In a control deck, if it resolves, it's hitting you for 5, or it's making you sacrifice a creature. If you're playing red, you're able to kind of manage the smaller creatures, and then it's like, okay, well, I'm going to play this. You can either sacrifice your larger threat or hit you in the face for 5. And then after that, it's a 5/5.
Yeah,
so
it's also bigger than Glorybringer, too.
It is bigger than Glorybringer, so Glorybringer can never get through it because it can't heal it 4. Can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
You were saying earlier about Dragon Sword. I think if that's a thing, this is probably a card that's in the deck. Just because when Glorybringer's gone, this is probably the best 5-drop dragon, which I think is important because obviously Dragon Swords cost 3, so you're going to go that on turn 3 and then on turn 5. The highest
draw card.
Yeah, probably. But let's say you don't have Bolas. It's always going to be Bolas, to clarify.
Yeah.
But if you don't have Bolas, this is probably the best 5-drop dragon.
Yeah, keep it turn 5. Play Bolas. You discard a card. I'll draw a card from Dragon Sword. Go.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's really good.
It's really good. It's very, very good. Okay. Number 8. This is a card that you and I agree is in the top 10, and that is Elvish Lieutenant.
Thorn Lieutenant.
Yes.
Thorn
Lieutenant, but it is an elf.
It is an elf.
But it's not Elvish
Lieutenant. It's an elf. You're right. Maybe foreshadowing. Who knows? Thorn Lieutenant is basically this standard's form of Sylvan Advocate / whatever other 2 that we had like it.
Elvish Warrior. Just a simple country 2/3. And this is chosen.
Yeah. You think it's not that good, but this is the reason why the Magic Online PTQ had a bunch of green decks in it. It's because this guy roadblocks red. Like, whenever you target with this vulnerability, it makes it 1/1. So Kenrar doesn't do anything. On-card pressure doesn't do enough. It's just a great card. Like, and then late in the game, you can just pump it, make it a 6 power. You may think that's like, it's not that good, but so he's good early, and he's decent late game where you can just kill your opponent.
I think it's great late game. I think if you can find him in a deck where you're grinding out resources, where you have a 2-drop that you can turn into essentially enough of a 6-drop.
Yeah,
I mean that's a big deal.
It is a big deal, especially since he's able to be regrown by Ajani.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true. So a little white-green kind of like attrition-y, type deck. Yeah, I do think this is a great card.
And also he's found a Militia Bugler or whatever his name.
Yeah, Bugler.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think this card has potential. This card to me is a lot like Demanding Dragon because when you look at it, you're like, yeah, that seems okay.
But in practice,
Yeah.
this card actually is significantly more efficient than
The more you look at it, the more you look at it, the more you actually
when you actually
it.
when you put it into like deck building scenarios that you commonly encounter, you're like, okay, so it blocks everything, or they kill it and then I get a 1/1 to replace it and then it still blocks something. Like there has to be a lot of scenarios where the red deck has no problem with this. It's like end of turn lightning strike, untap, chain whirler. But then what did you do on turn 1? Because you spent you spent 2 turns killing everything about the Thorn Lieutenant, and by then they're gonna turn 4, and exactly.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
a lot of good application for this card. All right, number 7, a card that I'm super high on is Remorseful Cleric. This is not one, and well, we're talking about plants for Ravnica. This might be a hate plant.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, for sure.
2/1 for 2. It's a Spirit Cleric. 2/1 flying, and this is a much better card in Modern. Especially last weekend, we actually saw Zan Syed play a Bant Spirits deck to great success. He top 8'd with that in the team event.
How many do you play? Do you not play?
None of think he played any of the main deck. I think he had like two or three in the time.
I know Kat was like championing the deck. She was like she played. I think she played 2 SCPs in sideboard and 1 Cleric.
Yeah. I think you just play more clerics. Like you just max out on this because they're already like fine as is.
Yeah, well, I think she was saying like recipe just wins you some games because you're
it's true.
all.
It's true.
Where most of cleric doesn't necessarily.
No, I mean Rest in Peace is better at what it does, but it only does one thing. Yeah,
obviously, yeah. But you always want at least one.
Yeah, but either way, I think the fact that this is a card that can like make an immediate impact in Modern, like this along with Supreme Phantom, kind of spurned that archetype to even exist. It was like fringe playable before, but it wasn't a deck that you were like when you were putting together your deck for a Modern tournament. You're not like, oh, I got to make sure I think of Bant Spirits. But now that's something you might have to keep in consideration.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, I agree. Definitely a lot better.
All right, the number 6 card is one of Ollie's favorite cards. He's already talked about it a lot.
Yeah, I mean it's Psy Master Thopterist. I already talked about it at the beginning of the section. I don't go too much in depth, but this card's really good. It's very good in artifact decks. I think it's better than Tezzeret Artifice Master in artifact decks, personally, because you will play more of him than anything else. It's just so much. It's just so much. The card's fantastic, and I'm sure in time you guys will be seeing more of this. Though I'm not sure how good it'll be after rotation, but
it just depends on what kind of artifacts we get.
Yeah, right now it's just really good. So.
Yep. Also, this is also a reasonable card for older formats because you have access to as many cheap artifacts as you want.
Yeah.
Card number 5 is a card that actually did not appear on my list, but I also like this card a lot. This is probably like right outside the top 10 for me. But number 5 card on our list is a Johnny Adversary of Tyrants.
Yeah, this card just gonna take time. This card would already be on the map if Tom Ross wasn't working for R&D. He
well, it might not exist if he didn't.
True, maybe not, but he'd be jamming this card. This has his name all over it. This card's good, guys. Like it does everything your little creature deck wants to do. It grows your guys, reanimates your guys, then has ultimate that like.
Oh, the ultimate wins you the game.
Yeah,
but if you get it, you don't put the card in your deck to get the ultimate. It's like,
it doesn't matter.
Well, you didn't mess with this card for 3 turns, so I guess I'm going to ultimate and make 3 1/1s with lifelink for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
I don't know of any deck that beats that. Like aggro certainly doesn't beat it. They have lifelink.
No, yeah. No.
Control doesn't beat it because it doesn't matter how big the creatures are.
If
over the course of the turn, they can't kill you fast enough. Like you can't keep sweeping them. Unless you have an Elishnorn in play, it's like the only way that you're going to beat that.
It's or the artifact that gives all tokens -1/-0. But
that's true. That card is terrible. But if they have it,
I'm just saying. But yeah, I think this card's fantastic, and we'll see more play as soon as somebody that likes aggro plays it.
Yeah,
that's not me.
No, but the next card is a card that you are wanting to play in every single format.
Oh my god!
You told me before. Number 4 card is. I'll let you say it.
Bashino Pyromancer.
Oh my gosh, Ollie loves it so much.
Bashino Shock. Or I'm calling the Shock dude.
Bashino Shock Face.
This card, guys, I can tell you when red card is good. And the reason
this is my favorite. I love all these takes on red cards are better because it's like a fear scale.
Yes, absolutely. When my opponent casts a red card, the more scared I am of the card, the better it is. And Vishino Shock Dude, is a really good card. Because it comes down, it's literally shock. It's literally shock on a creature.
I it's so much. It's just shock, man.
But it's so much damage.
I know. I can see you.
It's like Kendra, you can like block or kill it, or whatever, and then what about later? The
best part, you were talking so much. You're like, because Ollie's a really big fan of fungal infection, and that card is really underplayed. Yeah. But if you fungal infection, this is like, I already got you for 2.
Yeah,
got you for 2.
It's gross. And the fact that like Helix Wizard Lightning costs 1.
Yeah.
Why? Because it's a wizard. That's why.
Because you need to take 5 right now.
That's why. It's Vishino's Shock Dude. This guy is good. He definitely shocks everything.
No, just your face.
He should, but he can't jump planeswalkers. But yeah,
he can't get planeswalkers.
Yeah, he should smart. He should be like a go face.
He does go face.
Yeah.
He doesn't. He might go face, but he doesn't hit as hard as the next card. And I think both of us talked down this card. Maybe not directly last week, but sideways. And the number 4 card is, the number 3 card is Vine Mare.
Okay, we talked down. But you know why it's so good now? Because Scarab God and Bolas and the Grixis deck, this doesn't give a crap about all those. Like, you know what?
They're all black creatures. Yeah.
I hope you counter me. Because if you don't, you're dead in 3 turns. Probably.
Yeah, probably 3 turns.
3 or 4, yeah. Like, it's a 5 that can't be blocked. Nothing can block except Champion Voids.
See, it's weird because I thought that this card was good, but I've also never beat Chameleon Colossus in my life. Because like I'm always the guy that has the black card. So I'm like, well, this is going to beat me, but is it going to beat everybody else?
Yeah,
the answer is yes.
Yes, yeah. But it's crazy because like you'd be like, all right, I guess Hexproof is just really good, man.
Yeah, Hexproof is really good.
Hexproof is better than Pro Black.
Stupid mechanic. Sure, all the same to me.
Well, he's better though.
All the same to me.
He's better than Pro Black.
Yeah,
his
ability is Pro Black,
but better.
Is it? What is it? It's the same.
You can't seal it away.
I was trying to kill Rascal's Condemned anyway.
You can't seal it away. You can't Teferi it away. It's gonna come. Like I thought this was gonna be a sideboard card, but because Chameleon Colossus was mainly a sideboard card.
Was it? I just died to it a lot. I can't remember.
Oh, it killed you fast.
Well, what am I going to do? Like, I got all these black creatures.
Yeah. And this card is obviously better than more Grixis there is. It's obviously not that good against Goblin Train Whirler.
No.
But it's, or just other green decks. But it is very, very good against the control decks and especially Scarab God Bolas decks because it does not give.
It doesn't care.
A poop.
No. Mare don't care.
Mare don't care. Long hair don't care.
Yeah. It does have long hairs.
It doesn't care.
It does not care.
That's true.
Okay. Our number 2 card is Tezzeret Artifice Master.
Yeah, this card is really good in my show.
This card reads well, plays well. It did not show up yet. However, the power level in this card is like absurdly high.
This card goes in the side deck for sure. There's more size in this deck than Tezzeret, but Tezzeret is once he's in play,
starts taking over the game immediately.
Yes.
Yeah. This is a card that, like I said, even though it hasn't shown up yet, once someone figures out the correct deck for this card, this is a card that people are going to hate playing against.
Yeah.
Because it is outrageously powerful. Drawing 2 cards. That's
for 0.
That's the backside of Bolas, which you have to pay 4 and then pay 7 mana to flip. That also draws 2 cards.
Yeah.
This just does it for 0, and you just pay 5 and just do it in most cases.
Man, doing it twice is game over. Like, playing it, doing it, like, untap again, do it again, just like, alright, well, that was fun.
Well, yeah, it's better than Jace the Mind Sculptor.
Draw 4 cards?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just drawing 4 cards, yeah.
You go to the brainstorming twice? Is that true?
Drawing 4 is better than brainstorming twice. Yeah, it is. I'm telling you, it's better just have them.
You're the brainstorm master. I'm gonna
yeah,
take it away.
It's better. And again, look, brainstorm. I've cast it more than anything else. I still want to ban. Anyway, we're done with that conversation.
Yes. Okay.
Number 1. This will come at no surprise. This was our card that we talked about the most last week. It certainly made the most impact week 1 in Standard. I think it's going to make the most impact going forward in this set, and that's, of course, Nicol Bolas the Ravager.
Yeah, great card, powerful card. I'm glad he's good. I don't think he's too good.
No, I don't think he's too good.
I just think the cards around him right now are pushing him a little too much. The Scarab God does not even, like, the thing is, like, you can stop him.
So, you think he's pushing him too much? Do you think he's going to get worse when we go into a set that has significantly easier mana to cast him?
Yes.
He's going to be worse?
Well, no, he won't be worse, but, like, the deck's having him. Dude, the back of Scarab God and Leon Death Majesty, bringing him back and looping him, is just absurd.
Yeah, but you don't think that by the time we get to Ravnica, that he's just not going to be surrounded by the most efficient black, blue, and red cards?
I mean, no.
Okay.
I mean, I think the Scarab God is one of the best cards.
Yeah, no. Look, you're not gonna get. I'm not gonna say ever printed, but it's very good. It's very, very good.
Has there been a better blue black card ever printed than?
A better blue black card?
Don't tell me Psychotog.
I wasn't gonna tell you Psychotog.
Scarab God is better than Psychotog.
Look, I'm aware.
Okay.
I wasn't gonna say Psychotog.
All right. And don't tell me Shadow Legend on Twitter.
Dude, I'm not gonna say card from Odyssey. Okay.
All right. We're gonna share. The Scarab God, I think, is the best blue black creature.
The best blue. Yeah, it is the best blue black creature. Name 3 of them.
That's name 3. Psychotog.
You just said it's the best blue black creature in Standard.
Ever in any Standard ever.
Yeah, well, creature. You just said blue. But first you said blue black card. Yeah, it's the best blue black creature easily. For sure.
Well,
it's the best.
Okay. I'll probably venture to say probably we'll think a little more, but you know what? I don't think it's the best blue black card Standard ever.
And you know what? I don't have a response. Period. I'm just gonna have to agree.
All right, there you go.
For now, but I'm gonna think about it.
Lamaz, Demir Mastermind.
It's not
Lamaz. Lazat, Liffey.
It's Lazov.
Demir.
It's Lazov.
Lamar.
We're gonna move on. That's our top 15. You guys got it. We're gonna be back one more week talking about Commander and Cube next week. We obviously have saved all of that so we can make sure that we give it a full section. Yeah, we'll take, we have another team tournament this week, so we're going to have a lot more Standard data, both for team and the Classic for SCG Philadelphia. And, of course, as the format continues to mature, we'll see more Standard formats going forward. So we're going to take a quick break, and when we return, Magic Story. What is the name of this one?
It's definitely Guitar. Guitar Mastermind.
Anyway, Magic Story. See you in a bit.
Alright, Chronicles of Bolas, Blood and Fire. Blood and Fire! So basically, we're going to stop telling the story because we don't know, like, Tai Jin doesn't know any more story of Ugin. This one's
They're headed to Ugin's grave.
Right. This gets kind of tricky. But anyways, let's go into it. So, they're heading to Ugin's grave. Atarka's like, she's mad. She's coming around. She's like, you killed my favorite broodling. Why?
First of all, I'd like to point out before we continue, that was Atarka's favorite broodling yesterday, and 3 days before she didn't know who it was.
I agree.
It was the one she saw most recently, therefore it was her favorite.
Exactly.
But it was her favorite. Anyway,
it was her favorite. It was her favorite. So Atarka comes down. She threatens to, like, kill everybody because the broodling's dead. And then she picks up. I'm not sure how to say this. Is it Enoch?
Enyok.
Enyok?
And yeah, the little like little skinny beastie. No, they're not birds.
Oh, they're not birds.
No, they're like little. They look like
beastie stuff.
White
beastie stuff.
Yeah, they're not. They're like tan.
Okay, anyway, she picks it up, and it's always like, don't kill him. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, really giving a solid argument. Yeah, just you don't do that, right?
Yeah. So then Atarka's like, bites up the head, throws the head out behind her back. Like, doesn't even eat it. Just toss it over. It's like, all right, who's this person from Ojitai? Point Daijin's like, I'm gonna eat you too. And he's sort of like, hey, listen, okay? Ojitai wants Taijin dead. Taijin left Ojitai to come to you and worship your greatness because you're so amazing. And if you leave him alive, Ojitai will be so upset with you.
He won't like it at all.
And Tarka's like, well, I don't want to agree with you, but tell me a story and he'll eat you, okay? Like, because you have to entertain me because if I agree with you, I'll seem weak. This is what she's thinking, okay?
Yeah.
She didn't say this, but I'm telling you because I'm a dragon speaker.
Got it.
All right. So Taijin starts telling a story, and the story is a little weird. It's coming from Bolas' side instead of Ugin's now, and it's telling us a story of how Bolas manipulates. We left off where Bolas like basically took over and became the king of all these dragon slayers. And this is where it is. Bolas has manipulated all of them to basically build an army so that he can fight whoever he wants. Bolas isn't physically strong enough to defeat all the dragons, but he has an army and he has his wits and powers around him to help him do that. We learned that Bolas is called the Second Son. This is what people are calling him now, which
call back to Almaket.
Yep, approach of second. So approach of the Second Son means approach of Bolas, which is pretty cool. And it's weird because the story talks about Bolas being like a just king. He's rightfully like good and good people. It just sounds very deceptive. And
this is a stark contrast from the last 4 stories that Ugin essentially was telling through Taijin.
Yeah, so it's kind of weird. Bolas ends up flying like past the mountain and ends up rambling with the Victus Asmati. So they're fighting. As they're fighting, Bolas realizes that he can't defeat him, but he's having the humans help him defeat the Victus Asmati
because they're worshiping Bolas as a king.
Yes, Bolas is a king. Bolas. He remembers how he tried to he can easily manipulate humans, and he remembers when he tried to manipulate Ugin, and he couldn't really do it. And he thinks maybe it's because he wasn't strong enough, or maybe because Ugin was too smart, because his brother. And he tries to do it again on the dragons, and he's able to. And he's able to turn one of Victus's brood. The name was Levitus against the Victus, and basically they fight. And as they're fighting, Bolas thinks Ugin is dead because Ugin planeswalked to Tarkir, remember?
And of course, Bolas has never seen a planeswalk at this point.
Or a planeswalker.
Doesn't know what to make of it.
Yeah, he thinks someone's literally burnt him out of his existence, and he's been trying to learn how he's been trying to learn a disintegration spell that can mimic that or reach his power. And while he hasn't done that, all of his sorcerers that worship him can cast fireballs.
Essentially,
yeah. And so they're doing this
hurdy magic.
Hardy magic. Pew pew magic.
Pew pew hardy magic.
Pew pew. So they're casting
pew pew ouchie ouch hardy magic.
They're casting pew pew ouchie ouch hardy magic.
Yep.
Victus and Levitus, and this sounds like a Bible. So and while they're doing that, they both like weekend and both just it's like all right, I'm gonna away.
Dude,
I'm gonna wander away.
Don't mind me. And he literally says his like the narrator, the mysterious narrator of the story, is like Bolas knew that whoever won was going to be bigger than him, but there's only going to be one of them.
Yes. Yeah. And then he goes to Claudia Morris, which is his sister, which Victus scared away, moved her from her territory. It's like, yo, Claudia, Victus is weak. And he's able to easily manipulate her because she's just 1,000% brute strength. And as he's like, Bolas is now inciting and doing the Elder Dragon War that we heard about in the past. Basically, he's getting all the dragons riled up, turning against each other. The way he turned the humans, he's turning the dragons against each other because this is how we can become strong and how we can gain power and be the top. And this is basically what does throughout the entire story. And at the end, Bolas says there's only one law. There's only one law for all humans and all people, and he ends it with that. So then we go back to Tarkir, where Tarka, and she starts laughing. Yeah, of course there's one law, guys. The law to eat. She just like keeps eating. She's like, okay, you've made me happy. You can live, little peasant. And she like flies away.
And Taijin is like, Yasop is like, what?
What just happened?
What was that?
Yeah.
And he's like, That was not the story I meant to tell.
Yeah, he meant to tell a con story of dragons fighting, but apparently he was possessed, and or something happened to him, and that story he told. And Justin was like, okay, we must go even faster to Ugin's grave, because last time we were going not fast enough, but we've been going faster this whole time. Now we need to go even faster. And now there's another dragon type is forming. And is it coming? No. It's here.
And Yasova specifically pointed out, because she even remarks, like, the last time that I heard what I perceived as a great dragon speaking to me, I felt like I had a hand in Ugin's death.
Yeah.
Because I didn't do anything to stop it or didn't warn Ugin about it.
Yes.
So she's kind of seeing a flashback in Tasia's experience and her experience 18 years prior.
So
what do we think? This was, I mean, obviously, it's laid on pretty thick that this is Bolas telling Tasia
the
Bolas's story from Bolas, a story that is making Bolas out to look like a benevolent and
tyrannical king,
non-tyrannical king.
Oh, you're actually not tyrannical.
Yeah, because it specifically talks about how like all the humans love him and he's very just.
Kind of, but like he's
But from a dragon's point of view, if you were telling a story to a dragon, be like, yeah, this is all humans love him, but he also doesn't care about the humans. He can just kill them whenever he wants, and they're okay with that. Yeah. Basically, a story that's meant to be told to another dragon, but still puts Bolas in a good light.
Yeah. I don't know. We said it before. This whole storytelling seems kind of fishy to me.
Yeah, it's all very unreliable.
Yeah.
Because it's like Tajan's like it was like the story that I told before, but different. Like the beginning of the story kind of had all the main, like the big parts of what happened as far as like the Ugin and Bolas being born together, Marivia Saul dying, they going and like interacting with the other dragons, and then killing the dragon killers, like the main dragon killer.
Yeah. And
it tells that, but then after that, it's just like it feels different. I really like that the author of this whole arc obviously wrote all of these stories.
Yeah.
And she did an excellent job making this one sound like it's in the same type of storytelling, but the tone of the story is very different.
It is very different. Yeah, it is very different. But I think it's weird because we know Bolas is tyrannical.
It is tyrannical, yes. Yeah. Specifically tyrannical.
Yeah, so it's weird. It's weird. I wanted like this arc is supposed to be the true story of Bolas, or the story of Bolas rather, not the true story. The story of Bolas. So we'll see. I don't want to say like it's all like it does sound fishy, but maybe.
Well, I mean, like you pointed out last week, the best lies are surrounded in truth.
Yeah.
So without a doubt, a lot of this is true, but we also know without a doubt, not 100% of it is true. But we don't know the parts that aren't. Right.
So, I think Ugin has a...
The issue is we don't trust Bolas or Ugin.
Yeah.
And our, the characters that we're following, Tasia and Yasova specifically, know of Ugin and are kind of looking to his grave for guidance, but I don't know. We've seen, as readers... We've seen more of Ugin than they have.
Of course, yeah.
And, this is obviously a nail that we keep hammering. It seems like every week on this show that Ugin comes up that, like, we're not saying that Ugin's bad, but I'm keeping my distance. Because I don't know if anytime that he's introduced in a story, he's even better than Bolas at positioning himself as on your side, whoever you are. Right?
Yeah. I agree with that. Like he seems very. I was actually trying to think about this. Like, I think of what colors would Ugin be before he transcended mana.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good question. So let's eliminate some.
Sure.
Start. So he's not red. He's farthest. I think he's farthest away from red.
He's not red now.
Okay. And he definitely is blue.
He's very, very blue.
Okay. I think he's green for sure. Maybe not initially, but after.
I think he's definitely white.
Okay. I think he's more green than white because he's more concerned with the natural order of things. Like, he didn't want the Eldrazi to be killed because they're kind of, he wanted to study them, which is very blue, but he also just, like, they're part of, like, the natural cycle.
You're right. So
that's very green.
It's not white. I was thinking white because of that, but it's not that.
But I don't think it's because of, like, I don't think it was because of order. I think it was just because that's how things are, like how things existed. And when he was in Arcades' camp, he wanted to learn about how the world operates.
Right.
Not necessarily to inject his opinion into it, because that's more of a white thing. But green is like, I want to observe and just and nature.
Yeah, basically be one with nature, or whatever. Just understand nature. I mean,
okay.
It could be one, but understand it.
Okay,
so definitely blue-green.
Definitely blue-green, and of course that now leaves black.
I don't know,
and that's the thing, we don't know.
Yeah, because obviously he's trickery and conniving. That's all blue things.
But it's all blue, exactly.
We haven't seen anything.
It's the selfishness, and we
can't say without a doubt.
One time we have seen that part, and that's his interactions with Azor.
It's kind of blue too, but
that's specifically like blue-black, because it was manipulative, but it was also
self-serving.
It was also purely self-serving, because he knew that Azor was exactly, and he knew Azor was going to do that, and Ugin was not willing to do that himself. He was like, I'm going to position myself in a point of power to where we agree that the plan is where you make a much greater sacrifice than me.
Yeah.
Now, again, this is like, we need the full story on how that happened. I'm not willing to say now.
Blue, green, and maybe Sultai.
Yeah, right now I'm just saying he's 100% blue. Like, he's the most blue more than anything.
For sure.
He's the farthest away from red. I think he's more green than white. I don't think he's white. So Simic, and then the black remains to be seen.
Maybe Sultai, yeah. Definitely Simic, because I agree with you. He obviously wanted to project the Eldrazi. He didn't want to kill him. He doesn't really want to kill.
No, he doesn't want to kill anything.
No.
And even mechanically, the only two colors that don't destroy
blue-green
things are really blue and green. Green sometimes destroy unnatural things, artifacts and enchantments.
Yeah.
But it doesn't destroy natural things, which is what Ugin wants to do.
Even his abilities don't destroy. Like Karn is a pacifist, so you always see him exiling things.
Yeah.
And that's not destroying.
No, it's not.
And Ugin the same thing. He definitely exiles instead of destroys.
He Ugins.
He does Ugin.
He exiles, and if I imagine he was like casting a spell, he would cast a spell to deal with a creature. If he couldn't exile it, he would cast a blue spell that would like tap it and doesn't untap.
Yeah.
So you isolate it.
Right. And I think the reason that Ugin plays on her card had the 3 damage. That's just his like showing how he trained. That's Ghostfire. That's literally what he's known for.
Yeah,
he basically knowing for.
He's still a dragon. Still a dragon.
Well, he learned Ghostfire from transcending mana and being able to use Ghostfire. Like,
yeah,
and it's also what he taught. Basically, in Invisible Fire. Also, what he taught his people, like Taijin can summon the Ghostfire Blade because Ugin knows how to do it.
Exactly.
So maybe it's it's kind of interesting. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, Simic so far. I think we can confirm Simic.
Yeah,
we both agree, and then like the black is like, I don't know. Are we interested to like? I honestly, this is a topic that we've talked about a lot, and I'm really curious to hear from all of you that are listening, where you kind of feel Ugin falls on the color pie from a Vorthos perspective.
If his plans on our card, what would that be? If it wasn't colorless.
Yeah, what would it be? And right now, I would say, because I don't feel like I have enough proof for black. Like, I have one instance.
Yeah.
But one instance doesn't necessarily make, someone act a certain way. Like, every Liliana card has been black, right? And she's obviously mostly associated with black. But it's not like every single one of her actions is solely black. Sure. So it's not fair to say that Ugin would fall into that camp. So I think right now I would say blue-green, but I'm curious to see what everyone else says.
Yeah. Actually, don't go off his Planeswalker card, because if you do, he'd definitely be red, the bowl.
Yeah. But that is explained lore-wise also.
Yeah. Just go lore-wise. Lore-wise, Yeah, would be next.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys should let us know. This isn't question of the week, but I am curious if you guys are listening, what you guys think Ugin's if a new Ugin card were made that wasn't colorless, what would it be? All right, Ali, anything else on this week's Magic story? I feel like this is honestly one of the only stories that's left us with like a really clear cliffhanger.
Yeah.
All the rest have kind of been like tied up neatly, and I'm like, of course I want to read on, but I'm not like I have to get to the next story to see like where this is going. But this is now like we've now taken a shift from Ugin storytelling to Bolas storytelling, like from their perspective. So it's like now I need to like what's happening because there's been a change.
Yeah, and also you gotta be careful too. I think reading forward. So
yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. 3 more episodes for the Chronicles of Bolas before the M19 story wraps up. Yeah, we're enjoying it so far. Hope you guys are too. We're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we're going to be talking Ant-Man and the Wasp. See you in a moment. All right, we had to push Ant-Man and the Wasp back last week because we just wanted to talk so much about the core set.
That's true.
Because it's, as you said, your favorite set of all time that will never be dethroned. That's a direct quote. That's a direct quote. Everyone heard it last week.
No, not what I said. Not what I said at all.
Anyway, so we're going to do non-spoilers and then spoilers for this movie.
Well, I just want to say, guys, what do we mean non-spoilers? Guys, if you've seen Ant-Man, you've seen this movie.
Well, yeah, he does the same thing.
It's a direct copy, guys. If you've seen Ant-Man,
it's not a direct copy.
It's 98% copy.
It's not okay. So, first of all, there's a character that phases in and out, like you were accidentally alluding to in the beginning when I tried to make a segue. That's transparent and not transparent at the same time.
90%. That's
the 2%. That's the 2%.
No, that's the 1%. The other percent is not following the Wasp.
It is similar to the original Ant-Man, of course, but like in movies that have sequels, that's kind of how they work, right?
Sure.
Okay, so the original Ant-Man was a heist movie.
I like that one.
I like that one too. I like this one a little less.
I hate this one.
You hated it.
I did not like it at all.
Oh man! See, I didn't know where you were going to land. I thought this movie was fine.
God, I didn't like it. I didn't like it because it was. Oh my God! Where do I start?
Well,
I know. Before spoilers, but like,
yeah, go ahead. No, lay it out.
Nothing happened. Like it was literally like the same thing as the first one, and that was the problem for me. Like stuff happened, but it was like nothing happened. It's hard to explain without explaining.
I think you can. I bet you. I believe in you.
Okay, it was a fun heist movie. It was a heist movie.
Was it fun? Because you just said you hated it.
You like heist movies? I mean, I like heist movies though. I didn't like this one.
Okay. So is it fun or is it not fun?
It wasn't fun.
You just tell me. You don't have to sell me the movie. I already saw it. Okay.
I don't like it, guys.
Okay. So you are. So what are you giving this? 1 to 5.
2 stars.
2 stars. So it's not the absolute worst.
I'll tell you why. It's not the absolute worst because of the ending. I'm not spoiled that bit.
Okay. Sure. Okay. So. You will like this movie because I like this movie more than Ali. I don't know if it's a ton more than Ali, but I did like it more than you did. You'll like this movie if you are watching the MCU. This is ultimately, maybe not the entire thing, but this is a necessary film to at least know what happens in it. If you like things that rapidly change size, if that's something that you're into, you're going to love this movie because that is literally the whole thing. Big to small, big small, big small, real big, real medium, real small, real big.
Justin loves this. Loves the size change.
Honestly, that is things changing size rapidly.
Yeah.
Is a childhood recurring dream, recurring nightmare that I had.
like I said, Justin loves
Don't like it at all.
Shooting size.
Don't like it. Also, if you are really interested in the word quantum, throw that one around a lot. They say that word a lot in this movie.
Yeah.
Fortunately, at some point, Paul Rudd says, because they're literally just saying quantum, 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 quantum. Paul Rudd's like, do you guys just put quantum in front of everything? Which is at that point, everyone in the theater most likely was saying that.
Yeah,
so
it's probably that's what almost like Deadpool, where it's like basically like it bounce faces the screen without going into.
Yeah, this was close enough.
Yeah.
Paul Rudd does a lot of this in that movie, which I actually appreciate. I actually think he did a good job. Like I enjoyed him, but I don't know. Okay, I enjoyed Paul Rudd, and I enjoyed his little friend group.
Sure.
But I don't think I enjoyed anything else.
All right. Can we get to
3? I'm giving it 3 stars. I'm giving it 3.
Oh my god.
This is what?
All right, 3 stars. All right.
You gave Jurassic Park Fallen Kingdom 4 stars.
I did. That was excessive.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm giving this 3, and honestly, this is like it's 3, but it's like
The lower
it's kind of the low. It's the low end of 3. Like I didn't hate it. I don't ever want to see it again now.
No.
Okay, all right. So we're getting into spoilers. So this is your time. You're supposed to do spoiler warning. Spoiler warning. Spoiler warning. Spoiler warning. Spoiler warning. Okay, we're now in spoilers. Okay, go ahead.
Holy crap! This movie sucked.
That's not a spoiler, Ollie.
It doesn't matter. It was literally the first. It was the first movie. Just part 2. Nothing happened.
Well, it literally is part 2.
It was awful though. It was like a copy. The same crap happened. It was awful.
I liked. Okay,
I'm giving it a 2. I gave it a 2 because the end. It references Thanos snapped and they all died. Thank God, except whatever his name is. Well, sure, but it sucked. Okay, if you see Ant-Man, it's literally the same movie.
I think it's worse.
With more characters. It is worse because I thought it was worse. I don't know why, but I thought it was worse because it was too.
I don't think there are more characters. There's more going on, but there's also less going on.
Less going on because there's less going on because there's more going on. It's just too convoluted. It's like, look over here.
It's unnecessarily convoluted.
Yes.
And you don't. At no point did I care about anyone, which is a problem. The plot of Ant-Man 1 is very direct. Like he's like an ex-con, and he kind of gets mixed up into something that he doesn't really understand, and he's kind of just like going along with it because he realizes it's going to be good for him, and then he kind of turns into a heist movie. And then he turns out he's like, oh, this thing has powers, and now I'm the only one that's able to stop this villain that's identical to me, which is my least favorite superhero movie trope. This one, it's like, hey, I don't want to do anything. I just want to stay at my house and just serve out the rest of my prison sentence. And you're taking me on this excursion that's not really fun. It's not fun for him. It's not really fun for the viewer because you're not you're not getting anything out of it, especially if you're on Scott Lang's, which is played by Paul Rudd. If you're on Scott Lang's side, you want him. You're like, hey, I want him out of this situation so he can just get back to just not doing. And you don't care about all of the other things that's going on because he's literally forced into this movie. It's like his character is literally forced into everything that's happening.
Yeah.
Not in a good way.
This movie's like, man, okay, it's not this bad. It's not like you woke up and you walk in your house and you step on something like squishy and you look at it and you're like, oh, there's poop on the floor. I stepped on it. Like that's like awful. It's not that bad, but it's pretty close. It's like you come out of your room, you step, it's like a crunch, you look down, it's dry poop. It's just like, why?
Why don't you tell us why? We understand that you think it's bad, Ali.
Because nothing happened.
You just keep. All right. What else?
Okay,
I know you have some more.
Okay, the heist. It was a heist movie with this person that phases in now.
I thought the villain was fine. I thought the villain was interesting. The villain, and I'm putting air quotes around it because it's like not even a villain. That's like the villain.
Thank you.
The villain is like someone like a diabetic trying to steal insulin. That's the villain of the movie? Someone trying to steal insulin so they don't die? Come on. You literally, it made it very difficult for me to root for the heroes once you find out what's happening.
Here's the problem. Like, they all worked so hard for this one thing, and then it didn't matter. Because she died, he died, he's trapped in the fucking thing.
Who are you saying?
Okay, the Wasp got blown up at the end, just dead. Like, and then, what's his face? Doctor got disintegrated. And then Ant-Man is in quantum world, way deep. So he's gone.
So are you saying...
So he's basically in prison again.
Because Infinity War happened, this movie is irrelevant?
Yes. And then...
Oh, God.
And then Faye's chick, she's definitely dead now because now the... Because the other
girl... You don't know?
Well, the one that can heal her...
Maybe she's already healed.
Heal her. No.
Maybe she's...
No,
okay, here's my...
No, because he went back to get stuff so he could keep healing her.
Well, maybe she's dead then. You're right. It doesn't okay,
so it's like, God, I swear to God, it's like going around, what does they go around your elbow to scratch your butt?
Yeah.
But not butt, like ass?
Yeah.
That's what it is. But you do that for an hour or more. That's what happened. It didn't matter. You could have just gone like...
But why can't... Okay, do you think it's capable for a movie to be good if the ending undoes something that happened in the movie?
Yes.
You do think that is possible?
Of course.
Okay. I just want to get that out there because, man, that's something that might bother you. That's in your wheelhouse to be bothered by it.
It definitely bothers me, but it can...
Yeah, I agree. Now, I'm not defending this movie, okay? I'm just trying to play devil's advocate.
No. It could have...
This movie asked a lot. It wanted you to just say, I'm going to suspend my disbelief and just trust whatever's working, more so than any other Marvel movie that I think I've ever seen. And let me tell you, Black Panther had a lot, and that movie came out this calendar year, had a lot of just like technology and like stuff, but I bought into all of it. I wasn't like, that seems super unreasonable. Now it's just like, dude, how many gigantic human-sized ants is acceptable? Where like, this is part of like a 20 movie series of the MCU.
Yeah.
There's just giant ants. Like, this is just acceptable. Like, we're just like, I get that it's like Ant-Man. This is like a thing.
Yeah.
But not only that, but there's like all of this, like the healing stuff at the end. Like, you're doing so much stuff that I'm just literally just saying, yeah, sure, whatever. Yeah, well, I'm in this far. Why not? I guess.
Say, you bother me too? Well, he's riding the freaking ant to the boat and they're all dying. He doesn't care. He named that ant.
He did care.
No, he's like, oh, dead. All right, oh, another one. Oh, you're going to be... I don't remember the name. It was Arnold or something. Who doesn't matter?
It wasn't Arnold. It had ant in it. They all had ant in them.
It doesn't matter. That made me mad, too. He didn't care enough about the ant that died.
Well, what was he supposed to do? What would you have liked him to do?
Zapped it. Make it bigger and explode the seagull. Explode the seagull instead.
How could he... He couldn't do that. How could he zap it?
Listen, you just said anything is possible. Anything that is possible. He could have looked at it and shot lasers out of his eyes and go there, and I'm like, okay.
No.
Yeah, sure. I believe that.
He could not do that.
You know, we don't know.
You're right. You know what? Because like once Michelle Pfeiffer's character, Janet Van Dyne, came out of the quantum realm, she's basically like
Superman.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wow.
Let me touch you.
Sounds like her powers are limitless. I like when she was like,
her power is quantum. Okay.
She was like, hold on. And then she just like touches her face. It's like, oh, thank God you're here.
Yeah.
You just magically healed me.
My headache's gone.
Yeah. That's when my headache started. I wish you would have healed me.
I needed it.
I liked, and I don't know, it's like, I thought the villains, again, putting air quotes around the villains, were interesting. But
I literally forgot one of them. The one that the one with money.
Walter Goggins' character. It's the southern guy.
I literally forgot about it until he said villain. I was like, what the villains were there? Oh yeah, there's another random one.
He was great, acting wise. Like he was really there. He was because he had the thing that they wanted. One of the quantum things,
right? But like the thing is, the story could have gone on without him. Like he had nothing in the story.
He wanted to get what they had for the money and sell it.
Sure, but I'm saying like
Hey, that made the most sense, Ali. Of anything that didn't make sense, like that.
They could have cut him out, and then like focus more on the quantum thing going back between the phase girl.
Should they? Could they have focused more on it than they did? It was the whole movie. It was all quantum.
I don't know, man. It was too much.
I enjoyed that character because it was like the most ridiculous character. But I was just like, you know what? Every time he showed up on screen, I was like, thank God for this guy.
Oh
at least I'm being entertained. Okay. As much as we're pooping on the movie, we're poo-pooing it.
Dude, I'm going hard. I'm going hard.
I think there was a scene that was exceptional, and that was the truth serum scene.
That was good.
That scene was hilarious.
Yeah.
There's no way, like, you have to set aside the rest of your disdain for the movie and realize how fantastic that scene
was. Good, yeah.
It was shot really well. Michael Payne did an insane job. The actors that were in those scenes doing the voiceovers when he was doing that were fantastic. Like the music, like the fast, like the music that did it, and like all of the actors that are in the scene, like not in the story that he's telling, but like are just like looking around like confused. It was just great. That scene was fantastic.
That was the truth serum thing. The whole thing.
But it didn't but that didn't carry over for the rest of the movie. That was a 5-minute scene.
It was good, yeah.
And it was the best scene in the movie by a significant margin, in my opinion.
No, best scene was definitely.
That's not. I mean, I don't think that was the best scene. That was the most important scene.
Okay.
At the very end.
For you, best scene for me, Parnell.
Okay. All right.
Okay. It's not all. This is all objective.
Yes, it is.
All right. That was the scene for me. that truth scene was really funny.
Yeah, that scene was fantastic.
Also, I hated.
What else did you hate? Please.
The belt malfunctioning. Like, come on, fix the freaking belt. Okay, make it a costume. Like you can make a building shrink.
He didn't have time. He didn't have time.
Yeah, but he has time to train 20,000 ants.
I agree. He did have a. It seemed like he maybe misallocated his time.
Yeah. If you have time to train all these ants,
they were definitely slaves too. Those are slave ants. I know a slave ant when I see one.
He was a queen, and they were the slave ants. Like, come on. How much time do you train ants?
A lot of time.
Yeah, fix his belt, please.
I like how the props in this movie were just like toys. Like they could just, because when they shrunk stuff.
Yeah, it didn't matter. Yeah.
Like they had that whole, like it's like no other movie where someone opens up this box and it's like a bunch of Hot Wheels and they're like,
oh my God. Yeah.
But they made mad. I mean, that was clever. I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
It didn't make the movie better. I can just appreciate it after the fact.
Yeah. I was like, okay.
I think the daughter was really cute. She was really adorable. Sure. Look, I know you hate everything.
No, I mean, I didn't hate her. She was.
Well, I'm glad you didn't hate her. Thank goodness for that.
I didn't hate her.
She was really cute.
She was, yeah. I mean, that took the movie better.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm glad she was there rather than not being there. I thought it did make the movie better.
I guess. I don't know, man.
When you don't like something in a movie, you just like fall off a cliff, and it's just
die.
There's no coming back.
It's like, yeah. So just know, if I ever go and
where you going with this?
Cliff, I'm dead, Parnell.
Yeah, that's what happens to most people when they jump off a cliff.
I'm not coming back.
But like for a movie, like emotionally, once you go over that cliff, it's just done for you.
Yeah, it is. I don't think pulling me back.
No, I know that. That's why I'm saying this.
Yeah, no.
I do like that the very end, the post-credit scene, that it tied up at the where that happened at the end of Infinity War.
Yeah,
I saw it coming, and I was hoping it was going to be the case. As soon as the when he was like counting down, when they were counting down, and it stopped working. I did up and I snapped my fingers in the theater. Yeah, in the theater, because I knew that I was like, this is the time. I was like, you only have one movie to tie this in real time.
Yeah.
It has to be this one. If it's not this one, like you're just missing this opportunity to tie it into Infinity War.
Yeah.
And it makes sense now, because at least now we can place it time-wise specifically. So I thought that was nice.
Yeah.
And it's your favorite scene. By scene, you mean 2 seconds.
Glorious.
Yeah.
Can't quantum that. Can't quantum the dust they're turned into.
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't either, but they're dead.
How do you think Scott Lang's going to get out of the quantum place?
Quantum?
That's probably right. That's probably right. That's tough for me to argue. I didn't consider that possibility. Did not consider that possibility.
With quantum.
I don't think the TV show Quantum Leap even said quantum this much, and it's in the title.
Oh God.
Okay.
I wonder if the black hole could black hole the quantum out of this movie.
Dude, I don't even. I think we should need to end this. I think we should need to move on. Okay. All right. Next week, next week it's my turn. We're gonna do the Netflix swap again, right? Yeah. So last time you got me to watch the movie Other Life, which I'd never seen before. This week I'm gonna get you to watch a movie you've never seen before.
Yes.
The movie is called City of God. Now, it's a subtitles movie.
Right. It's about a city people worshiping Bolas.
Nope. It's not. It's not. It's a subtitles movie. It's in Portuguese.
Okay.
But
that's okay. I'll watch anime, so that's fine.
Great. Okay. I mean, you're gonna have to watch anyway. This is more for the listeners.
Oh, okay, it's okay.
Yeah, I don't care.
All this anime aren't subtitles.
Yeah, it's not dubbed. This is a movie I really like a lot. So we're gonna talk about that next week. We'll see if you guys like it. We'll see if Ollie likes it. But that is the show for today. We're gonna take a quick break, and when we return, question of the week. Question of the week. Question of the week is what you're supposed to do.
Oh. Question of the week.
Okay, that's too long. Okay, we got it though. So that's where Director Choi is supposed to put music in. He keeps trying to put music in right here, but it's not. I'm just not feeling it. I'm not feeling it.
This sound better?
Question of the week. Question of the week.
We'll ask you a question
of the week.
Of the week and
question of the week.
Away, and we'll see that Ollie is right.
No, not this week, though, because the question of the week is from M19, which Planeswalker is better for Standard? In one corner, you have Tezzeret, Artifice Master. And in the other corner, you have someone else that's worse, because I'm taking Tezzeret.
Other corner,
clearly the most powerful, and we're not counting Bolas, okay? Because he's a creature. You can Essence Scatter Bolas. I don't care what yours is, because Tezzeret is the best Planeswalker in this set. It is the most rawly powerful. It makes Thopters, which are good. Little flying blockers, okay? They're good. I don't know what else you want me to say. You were talking about Sai a bunch earlier. I'm on board with the Thopters now, okay?
Okay.
Drawing 2 cards is too much raw power, and
Omniscience Emblem.
If well, it's planar portal emblem.
Bridge. Planar bridge emblem.
Yes, planar bridge emblem.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Great. So we agree.
All right, mine. Not disagree.
Excuse me.
I think the best Planeswalker for Standard is Ejani, Slayer of Tyrants, or something like that.
Adversary. He hasn't slain them. He just doesn't.
So you did know the name.
He doesn't like
gotcha.
Them. I knew the name. I knew the name of the card.
See? He knew his stuff. He knew about Ejani. All right. Ejani is. I'll stop.
Thank you. I was like, you're going to commit to this for the rest of the segment?
Ajani just is a very good card. Unlike Tezzeret, you don't have to have 6,000 artifacts to make it work. You can just play her in green white, mono white, white blue,
You have to have creatures.
white black, white red, white green blue. Like Ajani just really, a good planeswalker, doesn't he?
Wow, you've sold by naming all the colors of Magic. You really sold me on Ajani.
I'm just saying, he can reanimate 2 drops and less.
You can, yeah. I haven't said anything I can argue with yet.
Thank you. You can bring back Bushido Power Minister, shock your opponent.
That's true.
You can bring back Lieutenant. You can pump 2 different creatures up to get out of lightning strike range. You can bring back Boomont Courier.
That's true. You're naming creatures that you can bring back. I don't have an inventory.
You can bring back if you have a card, Remorseful Cleric, to exile the graveyard again.
That's true.
This card, like, Ajani has a lot of abilities, and his ability changes depending on which card he's reanimating. I think that's actually
no. That's true. I mean, okay, that's legitimate. That's legitimate. I'll give you that one. That this card, the dynamic changes, and obviously that sounds simple because it's like, well, of course, if you bring back card A, it's gonna be different than card B. But obviously, if you build your deck in a certain way, that can greatly affect it.
Yeah, like obviously, like there's no meddling mage type deal, but like you can find humans or wizards or whatever creature 2 drops or less that can do things that come into play or are good against particular decks that actually matter, or just powerful cards. And the fact that he works both ways, like you can grow your guys out of like Yahin's expertise range or lightning strike range or shock range or braid is valuable. And then if you have like cards with lifelink, that also matters. I just think he's easier to include in decks, and his build restriction isn't as hard as Tezzeret. I think Tezzeret's payoff is much higher, but Ajani,
I agree.
But Ajani doesn't need like a tripod holding him up.
And that's fair. I'm just gonna go with the higher payoff card because I think once someone can figure out the right way to use Tezzeret, I think the ceiling is higher, which is why I think that
the ceiling is higher. But I think Ajani is just he's just constantly good.
The floor is higher for Ajani.
Absolutely, yeah.
The floor is higher for Ajani. Okay, so I'm going to go with high ceiling. You're going to go with the high floor.
Yeah.
It's a fair argument. I think those are both good cards.
Yeah.
So you guys let us know at Thinktwice MTG on Twitter, at Ali Aintrazi on Twitter, at JParnell1 on Twitter, which Planeswalker from M19 is better for Standard, Ajani or Tezzeret. Ali, where else can people find you?
I'm at Twitter, Twitch, at their respective web link /Ali Aintrazi. My articles come out in Gathering Magic every Friday. If you're listening to this, my article's already out.
Go look now.
It is the Black Hole article.
Okay.
What I won last weekend with. So check it out. The deck's sweet. There has been a Nexus deck that's done well. I think this one's a good guess. So check it out now.
Excellent. You can find me also on Twitter at JParnell1. You can also find me on StarCityGames.com and YouTube. I'm the host of the Commander Versus series. By the time this comes out, yes, season 12 has started. Started last week. I played Nicol Bolas, the Ravager. I made people discard a lot of cards. Many cards were discarded because he makes every opponent discard a card.
He's fair.
I worked on that deck with one of our Agent of Bolas patron supporters, Josh Lyons. So that was a lot of fun. You guys should check out that episode and obviously keep tuned in for the rest of the season. If you want to contact the show, you can do so on Twitter, ThinktwiceMTG on Twitter. You can also email us, thinktwicemtg@gmail.com. If you want to find the show, you can do so on SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube, and Stitcher, and a lot of other podcast applications. We're, again, slowly trying to kind of reach out to those. So if you have one that you want to listen to the show and that we're not on yet, please let us know what that is, and we will try to do our best to get on that platform. If you want to support the show, one way you can do so is watching our stream. Every once in a while, we either post videos. I try to stream about once a week. I kind of got blocked out this week because the early access event was running 24 hours. And I was not able to do so. Everyone else had God accounts. I had the free-to-play account, so I'm just didn't want to jump into those waters. But Thinktwice, twitch.tv/ThinktwiceMTG. And you can also go to patreon.com/ThinktwiceMTG. We have a lot of great rewards tiers, including a $1 tier that gives you early access to shows, as well as access to our Discord channel, as well as a $3 tier that gets you a lot of commander decks. A $5 tier gets you a ton of standard decks that Ali is doing. I've thrown a bunch of legacy decks up there recently for post-ban, and what I've been currently playing in modern. And of course, you get everything on the below tiers as well. We have a lot of Disciple of Bolas Patreon supporters that we want to give a shout out to. Devin B, Peter M, Nicholas L, Dor R, and Dustin S. Thank you guys so much for your support. We really appreciate it. Happy to have a lot of new patrons this week. Hope you guys are enjoying the show and taking advantage of those rewards that you're getting. Ollie, this is your time every week. Discord Animal of the Week. This is your choice today.
I'm picking Georgia.
Georgia.
The shepherd.
Georgia.
Georgia, you've won.
Georgia.
Georgia means all love. And I'm going to give Georgia my love.
Want to give you my love.
Georgia.
Georgia.
You my love.
Give you my love.
Georgia.
Georgia.
You love me now.
You can, we're going to give a special thank you to our graphic designer, Amber West. You can find her work at amberwestdesign.com. We also want to give our director and producer, John Choi, we want to let you know that he does a thing. I'm not giving him a shout out, I'm just saying his name, just to clarify the difference.
Here's the thing.
Yep. He's doing it.
Now.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yes,
you guys can't see it, but he's doing it.
In the strings. The mirror.
That's right.
The mirror style.
Behind, wait, isn't that, what's that card from?
Hidden Strings.
No,
The mirror.
from Shadows over Innistrad.
Hidden Strings.
No, you keep saying that. It's on Hidden Strings. I think it's behind, it's like something about the curtain. It's got the thing with the big eye.
Behind the curtain.
It's just, I'll figure it out. We want to give a special thank out.
Thank out. That's your thing. Thank out. That's your thing. Thank out.
Thank out to our Agent of Bolas supporters, Daniel Hunt, Matt Lindell, and Liam Willen. Thank you guys so much for your support. You are,
as all you like to say, the MVP.
The true MVP.
I'm not done. The thank out. True MVP.
Okay. Hashtag thank out.
Hashtag thank out. Thanks, guys.
Thank you guys very much. Remember, City of God next week in our pop culture section. That's the show for this week, Ollie. I love you very much. Happy to be here with you.
Thank out.
Thank out to you too. Thank out to you guys too. We'll see you next week.
Thank out.